For 25 years, she was the undisputed queen of daytime TV. A force of nature in a black robe and a lace collar, delivering justice in 22-minute bursts. With a gavel that echoed in 9 million homes a day, she wasn't just a judge. She was an institution. She was Judge Judy. Her show was more than a program. It was a daily ritual, a cultural phenomenon that regularly outrated Oprah and defined an entire genre of television. Her name became shorthand for no-nonsense, unapologetic truth. And then, in 2021, after a quarter-century on top, the gavel fell silent. The courtroom doors closed, and Judge Judy, it seemed, vanished from the airwaves. But this wasn't a story about retirement. It wasn't the quiet fading away of a television icon. What happened behind the scenes was a story of disrespect, a high-stakes business fallout, and the start of one of the most brilliant and ruthless career comebacks in television history. So, where is Judge Judy now, in 2025? The answer is more ambitious than you might think. It involves a brand new media empire that's changing the game all over again. Stick around as we uncover the full story of Judge Judy's stunning third act. To the public, the announcement on The Ellen DeGeneres Show back in March 2020 seemed pretty straightforward. Judge Judy Sheindlin, with her usual bluntness, declared that her legendary show, Judge Judy, would end after its 25th season. The reason she gave was simple business. CBS, she explained, had 25 years of reruns, a gold mine of over 6,000 episodes they could syndicate for years to come. It sounded like a friendly end to a 25-year-long marriage that had run its course. But under the surface, a storm had been brewing for years. The relationship between Sheindlin and her network partners had frayed, ending in what she later called a Bill and Melinda Gates divorce. The problem wasn't just about money, though the numbers were huge. It was about respect. For years, Sheindlin had a unique and powerful deal. Her production company, Queen Bee Productions, once owned the entire Judge Judy library, which gave her incredible leverage. In 2017, she made a landmark deal, selling that library to CBS for a reported sum near $100 million. At the time, it seemed like a brilliant move. But that sale also became the source of the final breakdown. The conflict blew up over a spin-off show she created, Hot Bench. A talent agent who originally packaged Judge Judy sued CBS, claiming they were being cut out of profits from the new hit show. The legal battle dragged on, creating a toxic environment. Sheindlin felt the network was mishandling her creation and disrespecting her legacy. The final straw came when CBS, now owning her valuable reruns, started treating her flagship show as less important than its spin-off. In a stunningly candid interview, she later revealed how she really felt. "You disrespected my creation," she said, talking about CBS, "and you were wrong, not only in disrespecting my creation, but your gamble in what you put in its place." In her eyes, the network had gotten lazy, more interested in milking the past than investing in the present. She felt they were pushing her aside. So Judy did what Judy does best. She took control. She didn't wait to be pushed out. She walked away. But she didn't walk into the sunset. She walked away with a plan. The announcement on Ellen wasn't just the end of Judge Judy. It was the preemptive launch of her next conquest. She wasn't closing a chapter. She was declaring war on the very system she helped build, ready to prove that the brand wasn't the network. The brand was Judy. To really get the sheer force of will that defines Judge Judy in 2025, you have to know where she came from. This story didn't start in a TV studio. It started on the streets of Brooklyn, New York, where Judith Susan Bloom was born on October 21, 1942. She was the daughter of a dentist she adored, Murray, and an office manager mother, Ethel, a meat and potatoes kind of gal from whom she inherited her no-nonsense attitude. Raised in a world that still had very specific boxes for women, Judy was taught to be sharp and fearless. After graduating from James Madison High School, she went to American University, and then New York Law School. Get this. She was the only woman in her 1965 graduating class. In a room full of men, in an era where law was an old boys' club, Judy wasn't just there to participate, she was getting ready to dominate. She passed the New York bar that same year and took a job as a corporate lawyer for a cosmetics firm. It was respectable, it was stable, and she hated it. It wasn't fulfilling. After 2 years, she left to raise her 2 children, Jamie and Adam. But the fire for justice never went out. In 1972, a friend told her about a job in the New York family court system. Sheindlin became a prosecutor, and it was there, in the trenches, of the city's most heartbreaking cases, that Judge Judy was forged. She dealt with child abuse, domestic violence, and juvenile crime. She saw the worst of humanity, but also saw the desperate need for clarity and quick, decisive action. She got a reputation for being tough, sharp-tongued, and brutally honest. Her reputation reached New York's then-mayor, Ed Koch. Impressed by her fire, he made her a criminal court judge in 1982. 4 years later, she was promoted to supervising judge in Family Court's Manhattan Division. Over her career on the bench, she heard more than 20,000 cases and became known for her lightning-fast decisions. Then, in 1993, the rest of America found out what New York already knew. The TV news magazine, 60 Minutes, ran a story on this firebrand, Judge. The public was captivated. That exposure changed everything. It put her on the radar of Hollywood producers who saw not just a judge, but a star. She co-wrote her first book, Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining, a title that was pure Judy. TV offers started pouring in, and in 1996, she retired from the bench, not to slow down, but to take her brand of justice to a national stage. When Judge Judy premiered on September 16, 1996, nobody could have predicted the TV revolution it was about to start. The idea was simple: real people, real small claims cases with a retired judge whose word was final. But it was the personality at its center that made it a legend. From the start, Judge Judy was different. She wasn't a quiet, thoughtful jurist. She was a personality tornado. She yelled, she pointed, she rolled her eyes. She gave us a whole dictionary of catchphrases. Baloney. Is not an answer. Beauty fades, dumb is forever, and of course, I'm the boss applesauce. She had an almost supernatural ability to sniff out a lie, a human lie detector. Audiences were obsessed. Judge Judy offered a fantasy of perfect efficiency. People got their day in court, justice was served, and it all happened in under half an hour. The show's ratings shot through the roof, often drawing 9 to 10 million viewers a day and beating The Oprah Winfrey Show to become the #1 program in daytime TV. With that success came power, and Judge Judy knew exactly how to use it. Her salary negotiations became legendary. She wouldn't send in a team of agents. She'd walk right up to the head of the network. The story goes that every few years, she'd write her salary demand on a piece of paper and slide it across the table. No negotiation. Her logic was simple. She was the network's biggest star, generating hundreds of millions of dollars. Her salary, which hit a staggering $47 million a year, was just her fair share. Her impact went far beyond her own show. Judge Judy revived the entire courtroom TV genre, paving the way for dozens of imitators. But none could ever capture the magic of the original. She became a cultural icon, a symbol of empowerment for women who saw in her an unapologetic figure of authority. She had built more than a show. She had built an empire she was now ready to take with her into the next frontier. The end of her 25-year run on broadcast TV wasn't a defeat. It was a calculated pivot. While the public was still processing the end of Judge Judy, Sheindlin was already executing her master plan. She wasn't retiring, she was rebooting. And she was moving to the world that was quickly replacing the old guard: streaming. On November 1st, 2021, Less than 4 months after the final Judge Judy episode aired, Judy Justice premiered on IMDb. TV, Amazon's free streaming service, now called Amazon Freevee. The move was bold. It was the first time a major court show had launched exclusively on a streaming platform. Sheindlin was betting her loyal audience would follow her from daytime TV to the on-demand world, and she was right. Judy Justice was an instant hit, becoming the most watched original show on the platform. But this wasn't just Judge Judy with a new name. The set was sleeker, the production was in HD, and the format was tweaked. The biggest change, however, was the cast. In a move that shocked her fan base, her longtime bailiff, Petrie Hawkins Bird, was not invited to the new show. Bird had been by her side for 25 years, a fan favorite. Sheindlin said the economics of the new show were different. The decision sparked a backlash from fans who felt it was a betrayal. In Bird's place stood a new bailiff, Kevin Rasco, but the most symbolic addition was at the law clerk's desk, Sarah Rose, a new lawyer and Judge Judy's own granddaughter. This was more than just casting. It was a statement about legacy. She was building something new for a new generation, with her own family. The strategy was brilliant. By moving to Freevee, she kept her massive reach while tapping into a younger, cord-cutting audience. Then, in a full-circle moment, she made another power move. In early 2024, it was announced that Judy Justice would also be syndicated to broadcast TV stations, returning her to the very airwaves she had supposedly left behind. She had conquered streaming, then used that victory to reconquer traditional TV on her own terms. Even with the runaway success of Judy Justice, Sheindlin was nowhere near finished. She was ready to expand her empire. Instead of just one show, she envisioned a universe of legal programming, all under her control. Her next major project, created alongside Judy Justice, was Tribunal Justice, which also premiered on Amazon Freevee. This wasn't just another version of her classic show, it was a whole new format. Instead of a single judge, Tribunal Justice features a panel of 3, Judge Patricia DeMango, a former New York State Supreme Court Justice, Judge Tanya Acker, a seasoned civil litigator, and Judge Adam Levy, a former district attorney and Judge Judy's own son. Together, they preside over more complex cases, deliberating and sometimes even disagreeing on the final verdict. It's a fascinating look at how different legal minds can interpret the same case. With this show, Sheindlin wasn't just the star anymore. She was the creator and executive producer, building out a slate of content she calls the Judyverse. She effectively created her own streaming channel of justice with her flagship show, Judy Justice, leading into this new, dynamic panel program. It's a sophisticated, high-stakes expansion that treats its audience with intelligence. It's the project of a woman who has already mastered one form of television and is now determined to innovate another. She's no longer just resolving disputes, she's building a media dynasty. While her professional life in 2025 is a whirlwind of production and innovation, her personal life is a picture of stability and immense reward. The woman who seems impenetrably tough on screen has built a life of extraordinary luxury and deep family bonds. At the center of it all is her husband of several decades, Judy Sheindlin, a former judge on the People's Court himself. Their relationship is as resilient as she is. They famously divorced in 1990 after the death of her father, but realized they couldn't live without each other and remarried a year later. Their partnership is the bedrock of her empire. And what an empire it is. With a net worth estimated at over $440 million, Judge Judy is one of the wealthiest people in TV history. That fortune is reflected in a breathtaking lifestyle. She and Jerry own a portfolio of stunning properties, a 12.5-acre estate in Greenwich, Connecticut, a luxurious mansion and condo in Naples, Florida, a multi-million-dollar condo in Beverly Hills, and a historic $9 million Newport, Rhode Island mansion known as the Bird House. To travel between these homes, she doesn't do commercial flights. She owns a private jet, which she's used for years to commute to tapings. For her, it's about efficiency and privacy, allowing her to keep a demanding work schedule while living life completely on her own terms. Beyond the wealth, her focus is on family. She's a mother of 2 and stepmother of 3. Her legacy is now intertwined with the next generation. Her son, Adam Levy, is a judge on her show. Her stepdaughter, Nicole, co-founded the Her Honor mentoring program with Judy. And of course, her granddaughter, Sarah Rose, is her law clerk. As a grandmother to 13, and even a great-grandmother, she is the matriarch of a sprawling legal and creative dynasty. In 2025, at over 80 years old, Judge Judy Sheindlin isn't slowing down. She's enjoying the fruits of a life built on smarts, hard work, and an unwavering belief in herself. Judge Judy's legacy is about more than just ratings or wealth. It's about a permanent shift in our culture. Before her, Courtroom TV was a small niche. She turned it into a daytime staple, creating a formula that's been copied endlessly but never equaled. She proved that a show built on intelligence and common sense could be a ratings monster. Her influence goes far beyond the screen. In an era before it was mainstream, Judge Judy was a powerful singular figure of female authority. She was a woman over 50, unapologetically smart, demanding respect, and holding everyone to the same high standard. She never softened her edges to be more likable, and she built a global brand on being exactly herself. She also completely changed the money game in television. Her legendary salary demands rewrote the rules for TV talent. She knew her value and refused to accept a penny less, showing a business sense just as sharp as her legal mind. Her move from broadcast to streaming, and then back again, shows a masterful ability to dominate a media industry in constant flux. But maybe her most enduring legacy is the bond she forged with her audience. For decades, she has been a trusted voice in a confusing world. People tuned in for her clarity. They saw her as a champion for the little guy, a force for justice who could cut through the noise and deliver a verdict that just felt right. She became more than a judge. She became America's judge. In 2025, Judge Judy Sheindlin is not a relic of a bygone TV era. She is a powerful producer, a media innovator, and a creator who is still at the top of her game. With the continued success of Judy Justice and the expansion of her legal universe with Tribunal Justice, she has successfully engineered a third act in her career that is as impactful as her first 2. She remains a vital, relevant, and utterly unstoppable force. The Queen of the Courtroom hasn't just survived the evolution of media. She's leading the charge. Her gavel hasn't gone silent. Its echo is just getting louder. What do you think of Judge Judy's incredible career transformation? Are you watching Judy Justice or Tribunal Justice? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into the life of a television legend, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories about the icons who shaped our world. Thanks for watching.